Right now, I'm the happiest I've ever been in a really long time because I've spent the last several years really trying to figure out what feels right in my life. The right amount of possessions and routines and energies and spiritually how I feel and what feels right. And I've identified 13 things that I actually needed less of or to quit altogether that's made all the difference in my life, in my journey, in my businesses, and in my mindset. Because on paper, I don't want to look like I have it all together. The business, the family, the routines. I want it to feel good too. I want it to feel like me. And if you click this video today, you probably do too. But on the inside, you might be exhausted and overwhelmed and just generally carrying too much emotionally and mentally and physically because somewhere along the way, you picked up all of these things that you were never meant to carry anyway. And you're feeling like you're having to hold it all at the same time. And it's so heavy. But none of this means that you're failing because you know what? You can simply decide that some of these things are no longer serving you, even though they served you in previous seasons of your life. So today, I want to walk you through the 13 things that I let go, that I put down, and some that I quit altogether, the exact things that help me get to this place where I feel energized and at peace and more like myself again. Because by the end of this episode, I want you to have the permission, the tools, and the just like confidence to really put some things down in your life too. But for a select few of you who don't want to watch to the end of this video and you want somebody to walk this journey with you of simplifying things to get back to where you are, click the link in the show notes and you can book a free discovery call with me where we will sit and chat about your journey, about where you're at and where you are headed in life. So let's get started with the first thing that I put down. I quit pretending that I could do it all alone. I hired help. I outsourced what I could and decided that some things just weren't worth me doing anymore. There was no reason for me to be a superwoman. And so, what that looked like for me and my businesses is I hired a full time executive assistant and I spent 2 years scared to make the hire. I bought a book and read the book. I wrote the job description and I was terrified because what if I hired the wrong person and this was a terrible idea? But once I admitted to myself and I got off that ego pedestal that I could do it all alone, I was able to show up better, more effectively, and more like myself in all situations and not just constantly spread thin because of work or family. The second thing I put down is I quit justifying relationships that drained me. And once you do this, it's like this aha moment where you realize like you've spent all this time and energy trying to make things work. You've been trying to keep this person from being mad at this person and this person happy. And then all of a sudden you realize that like this is costing me my peace. And you know what? They're no longer going to have access to me because it is not okay that someone is constantly taking the life out of you and everything you're doing is not good enough, not justifying enough for them, not making sure that they feel good. Well, you haven't told me. Are you upset with me? Are you mad? I'm 41. I don't have time for that anymore. The third thing I quit doing was ignoring my intuition, that knowing inside of you. No matter what you believe spiritually, that knowing and intuition is there for a reason. And when you start feeling like, I know better, and you stop and you listen to that, you start making decisions based on alignment and not on fear or pressure. The third thing I decided to quit is running businesses that didn't need me anymore. And you're like, wait, what? Hold on. Your whole channel and anything I know about you, if it's your first time being here, welcome. That I know about you is that you have all these businesses. Yeah, but that didn't mean I needed to run them. Yes, I'm still in a visionary role. Yes, I have like the guiding seat, but I don't have to be there day to day to make those decisions because I found people that were smart, that were capable, took ownership and oftentimes do it better than I do. It's not always about you. We don't need to always be the one doing all the things. The fifth thing that I gave up is I quit saying yes to everything. I am not a yes woman anymore. Sometimes no, or we can't make it, or we won't be there. Is just the way it is. And I don't do it in a way where like I ignore people, but when I started realizing that I matter, I can take up space in this world. I can be where feels best to me. Saying no didn't feel so bad anymore, right? All right. The sixth thing is I quit being the default problem solver for my family, for my businesses, for my employees. Instead of telling them how to fix every solution, I would give them another question. I give them another opportunity to solve it themselves. I guide them along the way. Doing the same thing with my son. If I'm always telling him what he needs to be doing, how is he learning to grow into an adult and a human? What if I give him questions to think about that? Then that teaches him to think. And if he can think about this one thing, he can think about anything. The next thing I quit doing was trying to make everybody happy. I was guilty of this with my customers. I wanted everyone to be happy all the time. Now, if I have customers, like for example, we have a messaging app that we use for one of our businesses that are all of our main customers are on. And I didn't look at it over a holiday break. And when I came back, I only had like 4 questions and none of them were very bad. And there's hundreds of people on it. And I was like, hey, I only have 4 people that like weren't totally satisfied. I feel like that was pretty good, right? I want to make everybody happy all the time. Now, of course, still try to address people's concerns and things, but I don't have to wear that as my identity. Like if everyone's not happy, then I'm not good enough, right? I could let that one go. The next thing is I quit trying to overcomplicate my schedule. I removed fake obligations. I don't have to be at every community event. I don't have to be at every ribbon cutting. I don't have to be at every single person's birthday event. If it takes space away from my family, whether that space needs to be used for rest or that space needs to be used for connection, then sometimes the answer is just simply no. And probably most favorite of all, the next thing I quit was ignoring my leisure time. So let me be the first one to tell you, if you haven't heard this recently, scrolling your phone is not a hobby. I would sing for you, but I'm a terrible singer. So you can't be good at everything. And that wouldn't be one of my hobbies. But you sitting there at night watching Netflix when it's not like a show that you love, like, oh my God, let's find something on Netflix to watch, or just scrolling through your phone, looking at social media, digging into other people's lives. That's not a hobby, right? Find something that you love, something that you like, you can create. So I garden, I kill a lot of plants. I'm not really great at it, but I love it and I enjoy it, right? Find something that gives back to you as much as you give into it, and your life will be immensely like more rich and more exciting and feeling more fulfilled. And then that burnout and overwhelm tend to like make their way to the fringes, right? That's not the only thing you have to do, but that's a huge factor in it. Okay. The next thing I quit doing was staying up late. I used to be a drinker. Okay. I drank every night for almost 15 years, and I quit staying up late. Okay. I go to bed with my son about 9:00, between 9 and 9:30. And so scrolling, Netflix, drinking alcohol at night, none of those things are getting you where you want to be in your future self. Like when you're retired and you're looking back on life, are you going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I stayed up super late and like neglected my health? Or are you going to be like, look what I was able to do with my life and the time that I have? Because people say that you only live once, but I don't agree with that. Like you only die once. You live every day, and every day is a choice of how you want your future to look like. The next thing I quit doing is I quit filling my home with just in case items. So I will say that this is a work in progress all the time, but like keeping something from a hobby that you used to have, like I used to mountain bike, right? And I always thought I was going to mountain bike again. And I kept a bike for like 13 years that I never rode. So I finally got rid of the bike, right? So if I decide I want to get into mountain biking later, I can buy a new bike. But there's no reason to keep those just in case items, because physical clutter equals mental clutter. And I'm going to tell you the detriment of this is sale racks. Okay. Browsing through sale racks, like, oh my God, what a good deal on this. Like I might need this someday. Like, no, someday you need money in your retirement account, honey. Okay. And so that is so much more like of a vote for your future self than just sitting there continuing to accumulate things that you're probably like not ever going to use, right? And then simplicity becomes your lifestyle, not just like an aesthetic. Like I'm not just gonna have clean bookshelves. I'm gonna have a clean life, right? Okay. Then last 2 things that are the most important, number 12 and 13 on the list. Number 12, I quit being busy. When you ask, people ask you all the time, they're like, how are you doing? So many people respond, oh, we've just been busy. What is that? What is busy? Okay. Busy is a choice. and you can choose to have less things in your life, and not saying like you still don't have things you have to get done, because I am like the master of the laundry pile mountain.com in my laundry room. Every week I'm in there doing laundry. Okay. That happens. It's part of life. It's just the way it is. But choosing to be busy and have a busy mindset is different than choosing to be slow. Sometimes you just don't do all the things because they really didn't matter anyway. So learning how to choose the right things versus choosing all the things kind of goes back to saying yes, right? Is like busy is a lot of a mindset, and it's not a lifestyle that you have to embrace, right? So no longer am I like, how much can I get done today? It's, did I get done what matters? Right. And the last one, which is the absolute most important, I would have put it at number 1, but number 13 is the last one to tie a bow on the whole video, is I quit ignoring my body. Inflammation in your body will lead to disease. Okay. If you have poor circulation, hot flashes, headaches, all of those things are signals. Okay. You didn't just show up with cancer one day. Like, there are signals that our body is giving us, and we have to pay attention to them so that we can work on healing them. And there's so much like biohacking research out there about how to try to make your body younger. I'm not saying like try to live like a 20-year-old, but you can make small steps of moving your body, hydrating, taking the correct supplements, and getting blood work done regularly to see what's actually going on inside. Because if your body is what carries your soul around, that in your brain, that allows you to do all the things that you want to do, it's a vessel, and it's got to stay healthy. And so when your body's telling you the truth about what's going on, like long before your brain does, we have got to tune into that. And so here is what happened when I quit all of these things. You're like, oh, I quit all these things. Like, then what's going to happen? Okay. So my anxiety lowered. I'm no longer on anxiety medication. Can I get an amen? Woo! My schedule opened up. I could say yes to things and to lunches and to time with friends that meant something to me. My businesses have grown because I have grown, right? I've put the ego aside and allowed other people to step forward. I have focused on what's important and not focused on everything. My relationships have gotten healthier. I have energy again. Oh my gosh, going to bed and not staying up late and focusing on my body has changed my energy levels like forever, like umpteenth times, right? And I just feel like myself again. I'm no longer that burnout version of me that was like barely making it and trying to not feel scattered and crazy all the time, and like tears welling up every time somebody asked me like, how are you? And, I was just carrying so much around that it felt so heavy all the time. Because the truth is, simplifying isn't just about doing less or having less for the sake of being minimal. It's about simplifying and getting rid of the things that drain you so that you can do more what aligns with you. And if you feel like this video was helpful to you, subscribe to the channel. We put out free content every week so we can help other women and high achievers like you to build a life that not only looks good on paper, but also feels good.